In this video, we are going to take a look at the floor framing, along with headroom clearances, and a pretty good description on how you can build a winder stairway. So let's go ahead and get started with
a view of the floor framing, where we are going to have a doubler run all the way across. This doubler is going to sit on framing studs. And one of the reasons why I broke this here and then had the rim connect to the wall framing and then butt up against the doubler was because I had a break here anyway, and you can go back and watch the previous videos to find that break. So if I have a break here anyway, why not make it a little stronger by setting this doubler on top of a wall framing stud instead of having it sit in a hanger. And of course we will need a post here, something to support the corner of the floor along with our hangers, and then we're going to need a double hanger for the connection between this doubler and this one. And then this corner will sit on top of a 4x6. Now a lot of engineers use a 4x4 there, when a 4x6 will allow you to set everything on top with a minimum of 2 inches instead of using an inverted hanger or something here with a 4x4 post. And of course I took a strap and wrapped it around to give us a nice connection between these joists here, along with a couple of straps to connect the post to the joist. And again, you can use other hardware to accomplish similar results. In a view of how our double joist is sitting on top of the double studs, close-up of the straps, along with a view of the double hanger. Next up, let's take a look at the stair head out and how the doubler here is going to be connecting to this doubler again with a double hanger, and then a couple of single joist hanger there, along with a view from the bottom. And of course a view from the other side. And in this example here, I removed the spacer block for the drywall to provide you with an idea of what that would look like. And another view of the floor framing, along with another view of this connection here, along with our fire blocks, and of course the installation of the sheathing. Another view from this angle where we can see the joist sitting on top of the 2x6 wall there. Fire blocking around the stairway, and in some cases the fire blocking gets a little creative. Next up, let's go ahead and take a tour of the stairway, and I'm not going to be providing you with all the information you need to build a stairway like this, but we'll be providing you with plenty of shots. And don't forget that if you are going to use a post that's going to create a concentrated load on the foundation, that you will need a larger concrete footing underneath this area here. And the winder stairway was my choice because I needed a little more room in the garage, just in case there was a minimum of 18 feet. And a lot of the building codes that I've worked with out here in Southern California require a single resident home to be able to park at least one car in the garage. And on the other side, you're probably not going to have a problem because you could have a longer vehicle with the front probably going almost to the edge of the wall here. And again, this would be information you would need to find at your local building department. Next up, let's go ahead and whip around the stairway here. So you can see here where the stringer's sitting on top of the wall. I like that kind of construction. And all of the winder framing will be sitting on top of support bracing or nailed into the side of the wall framing. So we're just going to kind of go around here, give you some views of how you can use different types of 2x4 with or without notches, and of course how the fire blocking is going to work, along with the inside corner here. And sometimes you might need to extend the length of the bottom plates because smaller pieces might crack when you're attaching them to the concrete with the pins or whatever types of fasteners you're going to use. And I would like to say that this is a stairway that anyone can build. However, it is going to be easier if you have my book, especially if you don't know very much about building winder stairs. And this is another type of stairway that can be confusing, or understand the difference why you shouldn't use some of the building codes that might be outdated in your area. And one of those building codes will have something to do with the narrowest point on the step and the walk line that would create a safe stairway. And let's go ahead and wrap this video up with an explanation of why I moved the stairs this way instead of adding more steps at the top. And again, that's going to have something to do with the headroom. If 6 foot 8 inches is our minimum headroom distance and it needs to fit within this 3 foot area, then you're going to need to make sure that the first step or the last step at the top is located in the right spot to provide you with the headroom clearance desired by your local building department. And another thing I want to point out is that some building codes allow a section of the ceiling to be a little smaller than 6 foot 8 inches, especially in a situation like this where most people are going to walk up the stairway and kind of hug the center here. This will be the pivot point. This corner here will be the pivot point. They're going to walk up the stairway and then kind of turn around and then go into the room. And sometimes the building department will allow this area to be a little bit smaller, maybe about a 1 foot section coming in here at the top. And again, I'm just kind of throwing that out there as something to think about. If you're dealing with a tight space, something to where you just need a little more room to make everything work out. And thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, let us know by hitting the thumbs up button or letting us know in the comment area.